Hi everyone, I'm Brian Ewell, the Master Superintendent of Uplands Golf Club. This time of the year we deal with some bumpy greens. And what's going on with the bumpy greens? Well, in the Pacific Northwest, most of us are growing annual bluegrass, or also called poa annua. And poa annua seems to go to seed twice a year. Right now we're in about the middle of May, and this is where the largest seed head expression is, and then second is usually in around September. But in the middle of May, when things start getting dry, and here we've had record heat up to 30 degrees Celsius this past week, we've also had 3 months of below normal precipitation. It's perfect to see a big flush of seed head production. One plant can produce 300 seed heads. So when the plant goes to seed, being an annual plant, it can actually be a little bit bumpy for our greens. So here in the Pacific Northwest, especially our golf course, it's 100 years old, we have a lot of different biotypes. So you're going to see patches of seed that are quite dense, or you're going to see patches like this where there's not much seed at all. This is a perennial type of annual bluegrass. It doesn't really produce seed. Basically, this type of plant is saying we're being watered every day, we're being fertilized, we're being cared for, I'm not going to die, I don't need to produce seed head. We're right next to it. You can see some of the annual types that are coming up and producing a good flush of seed head growth there. So it's a natural defense mechanism. It's trying to ensure that its species survives, and it'll produce a nice seed bed for us. And with our average temperatures around 23 degrees Celsius, it's just a good natural seed bed that can always ensure that we have annual bluegrass here. However, saying that, it gets a little bit bumpy for the golfers for about 3 weeks until it's finished its seed head production. So one of the first things that we can do is use a verticut mower. And the verticut mower slices into the ground and it removes thatch and decaying organic matter, but also removes some of the seed head. And it creates nice little lines in there that we can top dress and fill up those lines. And then finally, what we can do in the meantime is we can use a greens roller to smooth out these surfaces while we're going through this seed head production period. When you look at the different color variations here, one green can produce 70 different biotypes of annual bluegrass. So that's why you get some perennial types, you get some patches that are heavy seed head production and some that are just modest seed head production. But at the end of the day, annual bluegrass in the Pacific Northwest provides some great putting surfaces 12 months of the year. Happy golfing, everyone.